actually was able to meet her for the first time this week in person. She's so much fun. She owns a t-shirt company called Honestly Momma and Co. Show us your t-shirt, Ryanne.
Well, I just realized you can't read it. It's backwards. But it says more than just a mom.
More than just a mom. Yes, it's not just a mom. You do more than
right?
That. Come on.
Oh, my goodness.
I love it. Ryanne believes that motherhood is the toughest hood and we all need each other. Come on, ladies. We need each other.
Absolutely.
Welcome, Ryanne. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
I need like a crowd applause or something. Like
we can just, here we go.
Nailed it. Totally nailed it. Welcome. Okay. So I love, first of all, I loved meeting you in person this week. That was so much fun. And you basically started 2 different businesses since COVID pandemic time.
Well, it's basically been one. I've used my platform on Honestly Momma, but it doesn't generate money. So it's more of just a spot for me to reach out and to be able to voice my feelings in motherhood and be able to relate with other moms and be like, #me too, you know, sort of a thing. So the actual business aspect, yes, I did do that. And if you're talking about the events, is that what you're talking about? Okay. Yep. Yeah, I can talk about that too.
Okay. So events and Honestly Momma, right?
Yeah. So my friend and I, we decided her and I actually just met last year, but we decided that obviously with COVID and the lack of human connection that we've had, and as women and mothers specifically, like we have realized there is such a need for that. And it was kind of hard to navigate towards the end of the year because of the governor here in Utah, you know, saying only groups of 10, this and that. So we still did it. We're rebels. We still did it, but we followed regulations. We kept it small and intimate. And honestly, that was a beautiful thing. But yeah, we created an event company called Inspire Events, and we throw monthly pop-up markets. We both own our own small businesses. And so we're very passionate about bringing women together and supporting small businesses, especially after this year. And then we also have done small little girls' nights out because we realize we need those so bad.
we need our dinner dates and our face-to-face conversations.
Yes. Yeah. So that was fun. That was just like in September of this past year. And then I started my personal business just a year ago, actually this past month. So, that's so fun. Yeah.
That's so cool. And by the way, in case you're wondering, her events partner is Puale, and she's the one who dressed me for this event. So we can all.
And you look beautiful. I love it.
It's all her basically. She's helping me figure this out.
Yeah, we all need help, honestly, right? I'm like, I just wear t-shirts and leggings 24/7 basically. So it is what it is. Take it or leave it.
Yes. I love it. So what was the hardest thing? Because essentially both of your businesses straight up during COVID, and aside from the fact that one of them was event-based and meeting together, what was the hardest thing for you to navigate as you're starting to run both the t-shirts and the events with the pandemic and the chaos that happened with that?
Limitations. Really, I launched my personal business, I kid you not, 2 days before crap hit the fan. Okay. So I was like, 2020 is going to be my year. This is what I want to do. I'm passionate about it. It's going to be amazing. And I launched it on a Wednesday, and Friday, the governor was like, okay, we're shutting everything down. I'm like, wait, no, this is supposed to be my year. What are we talking about? Right?
Yeah.
So it was actually good. Looking back this year, like I didn't grow the first year like I wanted to. I had really high expectations, but looking back, I'm so grateful because it gave me the time I needed to be able to prepare and to flourish the way that I have just in the past few months. So I am really grateful for that. But our events company, yeah, talk about it. Like we did our first pop-up market in September, and it was an outdoor market. So we're like, okay, we have a little bit of leeway. It's outdoors. people didn't have to wear masks, but then it was right after that the governor was like, mandated them everywhere and brought that group down. And as it was getting colder, the group number, sorry, as it was getting colder, we couldn't do stuff outside. So we're like, okay, well, we have to move this inside. And so my girlfriend owns a warehouse. And so we did just really small little intimate things. Our girls' nights out consisted of like, in December, we did a little craft, take home craft for moms. And we just did groups of 10. And it was amazing, honestly, because when these women came, we'd ask them, the first thing we did, we'd sit around at a table and we'd ask them to introduce themselves and then tell us a little bit about you and why you're here. And I'm pretty sure all of them, at least in some form or another, said, I'm here because I need it. Like my mental health needs it. Mama needs to get out of the house. Mama needs to meet new friends. And it was an act of self-love, really, which is something I love to talk about. So, so it's been hard, but it's getting easier now. And obviously I'm hoping this weekend, right, we're supposed to lift the mask mandate. Right. So at least we'll see how that goes, but we just try to do our best with what we can and realizing that our sole purpose is to bring women together and to unite women. Like I said, our business name is Inspire Her, which I'll give credit to my husband because he came up with the name. I'm like, we get that one name. Yeah. And he's like, what about Inspire? But like HER, because you're inspiring women. And I'm like, yes. Nailed it. Yeah. So it's been fun.
That's so cool. So let's talk a little bit more about this. Why are you so passionate about self-love, especially for mothers?
Because motherhood is hard. And I've had to learn to stand up for myself because no one else is going to. Self-love, can we go off on that for a minute? Are we okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So motherhood, like when I think of motherhood, and I want those of you listening to think like 5 words off the top of your head. What is motherhood to you? When I think of it, it's full of ironies because it's like ugly, beautiful, hard, rewarding, like there's so many different things when we think about what is motherhood. A lot of people are faced with anxiety and depression, postpartum depression. Like it's hard. It's not this beautiful portrait that I had in my mind when I got married and had kids. And I was like, oh, I'm going to be so patient and loving and my kids are going to love me and I'm never going to yell and, all this stuff. Like, yeah, it's totally opposite of what I ever expected. We wear so many hats, right? We're a chauffeur and a chef and a maid. And for those of us that work, like we work inside and outside of the home. I mean, the tasks and responsibilities that we have as a result of being a mother, working or non-working, there's so many of them. And we tend to put ourselves due to that on the back burner. And what happens? You get burnout, right? You're trying to do all these things. You're trying to keep up and you're constantly caring about everyone else but you. And so what does that do to us? It lowers our self-worth. It leads to anxiety and depression. We're just constantly being pulled 100 miles an hour in every which way direction that we stop caring about ourselves. I know every situation's different. I wanted to do this little interactive thing, but I realized where other people aren't talking, it doesn't help. So I just want people to take a second and think off the top of your head, like what are the top 5 to 10 things in order of importance to you? Like what do you love? Like me, obviously my kids, my husband, my family. Is it a vacation? Is it a tangible thing? Do you love reading? Is it books? Like what do you absolutely love?
Okay, I want to see some things in the chat. Drop them in the chat. I put a few of the things that Ryanne was saying.
Okay, what'd you say? I saw family.
So you said kids, husband, vacation, reading. So kids and family, I feel like, or kids and husband is kind of family, right?
Yes.
And 2, here's the thing. Was there ever a point when it's like, I feel like I should be saying this, but I don't want to say this?
Okay.
I think.
So just think to yourself, okay, Juliana says, I've learned it's not a bad thing to say it, but I love me time. Okay. So you're right on schedule there. going with this.
Yes.
So typically when you ask women this, they're like, that's what they say, right? The most important things. Oh, okay, maybe vacationing, maybe this, maybe that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like to follow it up with, where are you? Where are you on that list?
Mm-hmm.
Because 90% of the time, you're not in your top 10.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what has to change. Because if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, right? That's something we hear all the time. But I never really understood until probably these last 6 months to a year of how important figuring out self-love was.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay if you're not on that list. It's okay. Like I said, 90% of people do not put themselves, 90% of moms, I should say,
Yes.
do not put themselves first, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're so used to, back to what I was saying, like being pulled in all these different directions, doing everything for everyone else. But we owe ourselves the same love that we so willingly give to everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
When I talk about self-love, I don't necessarily mean going and getting a mani-pedi and, spending money, retail therapy and massages and this and that. Like when we hear self-love, that's oftentimes what a lot of people think of, and that's not it. Self-love is on the inside. And when the inside works, the outside works better. I promise you. Like I can attest that it has made a difference in my life, in my business, and it's not selfish. Like a lot of people say it's, what is it? It's vanity, right?
Yeah.
It's not vanity.
Oh, I'm thinking of myself. It's vain. Yeah.
It's not vanity. It's sanity.
I love that. Someone type that in the chat for me. It's not vanity, it's sanity.
I was thinking about that. I'm like, I'm going to put that on. I do like quotes every other day on my Honestly Mama page. And I'm like, I need to do that because I love that. I absolutely love that.
Yes.
So for me, what has worked, and not to get all woo-woo-y, but, I used to not be so much about the woo-woo, but I have been dedicating a lot of time to myself, in the morning. So I do work part-time in the operating room. And so 3 days a week, I get up at 5:15 to get ready for work. And I decided this year in January, I'm like, I'm so tired on those days. Like by the time I get home and, make dinner and help the kids with homework and do this and do that, like I'm exhausted. I don't have time to like dedicate any time to myself. So I'm like, I'll just get up earlier. Guess I'll get up earlier. So I get up at 4:45 on those days, and I go in my bathroom. I shut my bathroom door, and my husband knows, like, if you got to pee, you stay out. You go in the kids' bathroom. Like, do not interrupt me. Yeah. And I go in my closet, and I, with the lights off, will do a little guided meditation or a meditation on my own. And I kind of combine prayer and meditation in the same thing. But I had a friend recently introduce me to meditation, and I am just the type of person, I am constantly like going. And I think as moms, a lot of us are like this, but we just always have that next thing on our mind. We lay in bed with the next thing on our mind. What are we doing tomorrow? What's going on? And we can't shut it off. So for me, meditation was hard at first because I'm like, oh, I'm trying to be quiet, channeling my inner peace. And I'm like thinking about the next thing. Oh, go away, trying to get that thought to go away. But there are so many useful tools on YouTube that are free. And I would challenge you, if you are considering trying to find a spot in time, quiet time for yourself, to start there, because it is a fantastic place and it has made all the difference. I've learned a lot about manifestation, which as a mom in business has made a lot of differences. Just it for me in the past few months. And manifestation, I know that sounds kind of weird, but basically in a nutshell, it's calling out to whoever it is, God, spirit, universe, whatever you believe in, and not demanding, but also believing, asking and applying it, believing. Affirmations are huge. I love affirmations. I try to start my mornings out with them every morning. And I don't just mean like, I am this, I am that, but as a mother, it goes so much more, I am loving, even though I am running low on patience. Like there's so many different things that we can tell ourselves. And when we tell ourselves those things, we start to believe them. So self-love to me is, I could go on and on about it for days, but until we heal ourselves, we can't heal those around us, the world, whatever it is you're looking to have a positive influence on. We cannot preach that if we don't practice it. And so for me, that's where it has to start. And it was hard at first. Like I did kind of think it was selfish. Like we said, oh, I'm just being vain, but I had to take a step back. I had to evaluate what was important to me, how I was feeling versus how I wanted to feel. I had to stand up for myself. I had to believe that what I had to say or what I felt or what I wanted mattered, and that I believed in me, right? And that I was worthy of following my passions and my heart and being able to pursue those things. And so through mindfulness and meditation and believing in me and myself is kind of how that has helped, navigate me in the right direction.
Yeah. So, and to clarify too, because I think sometimes it gets confused. Like we say self-love, we say self-care, and people do think, oh, going to the spa, getting massage, doing a facial, right? But what you're really saying is taking time. Like you give time to so many other people, but it's like saying, me
Absolutely.
too, I am worthy of my own time.
Yes.
And being able to sit with yourself and not in a vain way, that sounds bad, but like to believe in yourself first.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
Then from that belief in yourself, other things will grow.
And the sad thing is, like, as moms, we carry so much love in our heart for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
When I think about my kids, I just like overflow, no matter how mad I am at them. Like
I'm really mad at you right now.
Yeah. My mom heart just like overflows with the amount of love that I have for my children. Mm-hmm. And why is it so hard for us? If we are so willing to carry so much love, why is it so hard for us to do it for ourselves? Mm-hmm. Why? That's
a good question.
Because we think it's selfish?
Probably. It's not okay.
It is. And
I can't believe in myself. That's not okay.
That's exactly, because right, we're constantly worried about providing and doing everything, making sure they feel loved. But we have to believe that we are worthy of that same love. Yeah. And it starts with us. No one's going to do it for you. It starts with us. Nobody can, right? No one
what
can.
Happens, what effects have you seen in your life when you've kind of taken a moment to say, like, I can believe in myself and what I can do? How has that changed your relationship with your kids, with your husband, and in your business as well?
Well, for my business, I can absolutely attest that it has made all the difference, because before I started my business this year, I had like a small children's boutique that I started. So 4 years ago, when I had my youngest, mm-hmm. I just needed an outlet, right? I worked, that was kind of an outlet, but like I wanted to feel more fulfilled. I wanted to do something. And so I'm like, I'm crafty. Like I'm going to start a children's boutique. And so, I did. And it was fun for about 2.5 years. And then I was making everything. I did like hair bows and bow ties.
Like by hand making it?
Mm-hmm,
okay. Okay.
Yeah. And then I did start it, because who has time for that, right? So I did start ordering like baby clothes and stuff from wholesalers online. Mm-hmm. And it was fun, but I just wasn't passionate about it. And so and then the older that my youngest got, she stopped wearing stuff. So I'm like, what's the point of this? Like, I don't even have any satisfaction in this. So I had started my t-shirt business, and I had my platform online with Honestly Momma, where I just wanted a place to vent and to relate to other women and mm-hmm. our moms specifically, and be able to talk about the real, the raw, the honest truths of motherhood. Yes. And mm-hmm. so from there, I started designing shirts. I love statement tees, right? They're really versatile. Like you can dress them up, dress them down, doesn't matter. And I would wear them all the time, and people would be like, I love that shirt. Where'd you get it? And so I'm like, I can make those. Like, why can't I make my own? Right. So I started making them. And that's where my passion came for that. So mm-hmm. Fast forward to your question. Sorry. It was really slow through COVID. I think a lot of people were just scared to like make purchases and a little hesitant on the economy. Mm-hmm. And it finally started picking up at the end of last year. And then this year, when I started focusing more on me and channeling my desires and being passionate about putting me first and the mindfulness and the meditation, that is when I started seeing the difference. It's not just me. I mean, financially, like I've sold more in the past 3 months than I did all year last year, which is great. I had my best month in January. I tripled it in February. And then I set a goal for March. I'm like, I just want to make I didn't want to go too high, you know, so I'm like, I just want to make $500 more than what I tripled last month.
Yeah.
And then I hit that and then some. So like I'm constantly growing.
Yeah.
I am putting out the vibes, right? What we put out is what comes back to us. And I full-heartedly believe in that.
Yeah.
If we have a negative attitude, if we're, you know, Eeyore over here, like that is what we attract. Exactly. Right. That is what we attract. And I don't want that. So I'm constantly putting out good vibes, practicing my affirmations, working on mindfulness and meditation. And that has made me feel so whole. Not only in my business have I seen a change, but also in my relationship with my kids. I'm more patient. I get along better with them. My husband, especially, he's like, I can tell, like, you've had this shift in you these past 6 months. And I don't know, I'd have to get him on here. Unfortunately, he's not home, but he took the kids.
We gotta talk about this.
But I would love to hear it from him. But I know he's told me before, like, I noticed that you know, you're happier, you're more motivated, you're seeing successes. So of course I'm going to be a better mother. Right.
Yeah.
And I think so many times in motherhood, we think we can't pursue these things. We can't do this job because I'm neglecting my kids. I'm, you know, I'm not giving them my all. And that's a whole nother topic, like work-life balance. And I've done it my kid's whole life. I've worked in the operating room for almost 14 years, and I don't feel old enough to say that, but I have. And so I have carried so much mom guilt about missing out on so many things. But at that point in my life, I had to. And now I'm part-time. I enjoy working, and I felt guilty at first, but the more I'm like, you know what, I enjoy the adult conversation. I enjoy a little bit of time away. Like, it makes me a better mom. And it doesn't matter what kind of business you're in. If you are a stay-at-home mom, or if you have a business, whether it's MLM, a small business, whether you're a business coach or a mentor, whatever it is, you're doing that because that makes you happy. That makes you feel a little more accomplished or fulfilled. And that's okay. It's okay to find joy outside of the home, just as much as it is okay to find joy inside of the home. Like, you are worthy of accomplishing things, of following your passion. And I think we just lose that. We feel so negatively about that when we think, oh yeah, I can't do that, you know, no. And times have changed, they've shifted. I know, you know, years ago when my mom was my age, probably just due to the way that the times were, like, less women worked outside of the home. But nowadays, I would say more women work than are stay-at-home moms. And there's nothing wrong. I don't care if you're a stay-at-home mom. I don't care if you're a working mom. We are both moms, and we're doing what we want to do where we want to do it. And that is where we have to come to some sort of agreement, because I hate the whole working mom versus stay-at-home mom battle, right? Yeah. We're all moms. We're all doing the same thing. We all love our children. Like, get over any sort of judgments you have towards someone else who's not doing what you're doing. It's okay.
We're all going to make it out of this.
Right? Yes. Yes. We all have more in common than we think. And that's one thing that's really frustrated me, which led me to start my, my Honestly Mama account before my business, was just somewhere to relate. Like, I followed so many fashion bloggers, and I hated sitting there scrolling through my phone, looking at all these, you know, beautiful, perfectly poised, curated photos taken by their professional photographers of how great their life was. And I'm like, I'm a working mom. I'm trying to make, you know, at the time I was a single mom, like trying to make ends meet and trying to do my best. And I compared my worth to what I saw on screen. And I thought, if I'm doing this, how many other women are doing this? Like, this is bullcrap. This destroys your self-worth, your self-confidence. Like, there has to be some sort of unity. And there's a lot of pages out there. Like, I'm not saying I'm the only one, obviously, but I
Mhm.
thought
Mhm.
if I can do it, that's one more person trying to unite women. And so my business mantra with my t-shirts is uniting momkind.
Right.
And that is what, when people ask me why, that's my why, because I believe that we all have more common ground than differences. And that is what we need to focus on. I don't care how much money you have, where you live, what you drive. We are all moms. We are all trying to raise good children, to love them, and to love ourselves along the way. That is what is important.
I love that. I love that. We're all moms trying to figure it out. Like,
Right?
yep, none of us has it all figured out, no matter where you're at. And I love that you kind of pointed out the point here is to be the kind of mother that you want to be, regardless of whatever so and so is doing on social media. Like, you just do what makes you happy, because when you're happy, you're going to come back and be able to be more present with your kids anyway, no matter what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I want to encourage those listening too. Like, I have some friends, I've heard comments, I just this past year, and I honestly believe this is divine intervention, but I have had a amazing group of women come into my life when I feel like I needed it the most. And I have been so blessed to be able to have such a powerhouse tribe of women. And I brag about them all the time because they're amazing. They all are
They're
doing
pretty cool.
amazing things. There, you know, some of them, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So we all are doing similar things. And I think that's what really bonds our friendship, is that we all believe in each other. We're all doing different things, but, you know, in the similar realm of either, I have a friend who, my Wonder Woman journal, McKenna Brown, she is all about mental health, along with my friend, Leslie Lundgren. She used to do the Rising Phoenix podcast. It's a maternal mental health podcast, which actually this is how we all kind of came about, is she hosted me last February, right before the pandemic hit. And I talked about motherhood and sort of the expectations that are upon us. And that's where her and I met. And then through her, I met McKenna. And then I met Pule, who has become, she owns a clothing store in Pleasant Grove. And she is so passionate about making women feel beautiful, regardless of your body type. She wants you to leave, you know, feeling more beautiful than you did when you came in. And so we all kind of are in that same realm of uniting women and bringing people together despite our differences. And I've had some friends over the past little while be like, oh, I wish I had it, like a group of friends like you have. Like, that's so amazing. But you know what's so great about it is if you can't find it, you get to create it. Like so I've been a mom for almost 11 years. Through those 11 years, I had one best friend, and we've been best friends since 9th grade. And she's the friend that, like, we can go months without talking, but then every time I call her, we finally get together, coordinate schedules, that we just pick up right where we left off. Right.
Yeah.
I just didn't make time for anything else. And I think so many times, because we only have, I know there's a lot of moms out there who only have that one best friend, that they feel lonely and left out. And that is where being vulnerable and reaching out to other women and coming together, that is where you're going to find friendship and happiness. Because the more people that you have something in common with, the more you relate with them, the easier motherhood is. I kid you not. Like, my load is lighter. I have people to call and vent to and cry to. And like, that is what we need. And I feel like there's just so many shames and judgments with doing things for ourselves and having girls' nights out and doing this and doing that. But again, it's not vanity, it's sanity. Like, we need it. And it has helped make me a better mom. We get together and we bring all of our kids, and our kids play while we have our mom time. And like, you know, there are so many tribes of women out there, but sometimes you just need to be vulnerable, and you need to reach out to people and create connection. And that's kind of my partner and I's purpose with Inspire, is providing a space and an opportunity to bring women together. And our events that we've done, the past 3 events that we did for our girls' nights out, A couple of them like brought like a sister or a friend, but most of them came alone, and they left with 10 new best friends.
Yeah.
And it's fun because we've stayed connected over social media, and we might have only met once, but like, so to me, I feel so accomplished and so full of gratitude to be able to provide an opportunity to provide that space for someone else.
Yeah.
I always tell my husband after my events, my pop-up markets or my events, I come home and I'm just like beaming. He's like, you're so happy. Like you just radiate. And I'm like, you don't understand. Like I thrive. I live for this human connection, for bringing people together and helping to support these small businesses and, you know, just connecting people together. I've been in the vendor world now for about 5 years, and I've met so many amazing people and businesses, and I'm so grateful for it. And that was me stepping outside of my comfort zone, doing something that I didn't think I could do, but believing in myself enough to be like, I can do this. I'm going to do this. Watch me.
Yeah. It's that like backtrack all the way back to self-love. Like when you have self-love enough to say, I can believe in myself for this one next step, and you get out there and you take care of what you need, like the friendships, like we need other women. We need other women to support us. That is part of the reason we're running this entire summit, is to support other women. And I love that.
Can I just say, I am so glad. Like when you reached out to me, I had been manifesting speaking opportunities. So it was an answer to my prayer, just so you know, but also I love it. Like it's hard right now. I get it. We're virtual. I would so much rather be, as much as I don't like standing in front of an audience, I'm starting to get more comfortable with it. My girlfriend McKenna and I spoke to a battered women's shelter, a local women's shelter. And it was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. I've never been beaten and abused, but the message of self-love is so applicable to so many people in so many different situations. And to see them, I did this little activity with them where I didn't have a mirror. I wanted a mirror, but I took my phone and put it on selfie mode. And I went around to each person and I showed them my phone and I said, I want you to look yourself in this mirror, in this phone, and say something good about yourself. Because a lot of women in those situations, they don't believe, you know, they've been so beaten down that they have no self-worth at all. And that was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. And after that, I just remember crying to McKenna and I'm like, I just feel so good. Like you know, this is amazing. Like this is needed. So many people need to hear this message, and moms especially, right? So I've been manifesting more opportunities, and I've got, you came my way. I've been asked to be on multiple podcasts. KUTV4 News asked me to be on the news. So on, let me just slip this in real quick. On Monday, April 26th, I'm going to be on there with my business. And so I just feel like things have aligned for me. And when you start to believe in yourself, start to believe that you're worthy of success, no matter what type of business you have, not only are you going to excel in your business, but there are going to be so many broken and empty pieces that you felt become complete because you are fulfilling, you're helping to make yourself feel fulfilled. And we need that as moms. There's part of us, you know, like I say, we give, and we have got to start giving to ourselves. Period.
Yeah. Put some nutrition back in your body.
Absolutely. Yes. Things change. Yes. I promise you, things change when you start believing in yourself. It's not easy. It isn't. It took me, 11 years of being on to finally figure it out, but I'm a lot happier. And I feel like it makes me a better mom just because I do. I feel more fulfilled. And I think moms need that because half the time we're running on empty.
You're just so spread everywhere. Oh my gosh, Ryanne, this has been so good. Thank you so much. And you do have a freebie for us. There should be a code for anything on your site, any of the shirts, right?
Mom Summit.
Yes. Use the code.
Do you have it posted somewhere?
Olivia, will you drop that in the chat? There we go. Yep. Mom Summit.
He's all over it. Good job, Olivia.
Thank you,
awesome.
Olivia. So yeah, use that if you want any of those t-shirts, first of all, they're just fun. Second of all, you get compliments when you wear them. Third of all, you can start bringing them around and start seeing who else is part of your tribe. So
yes. Can I tell you, it makes me so happy. I've had people be like, I was at Costco and I saw someone in your shirt. I'm like, yes, that makes me so excited because that's why I created it, was because moms, like 90% of the time, what are we wearing, right? T-shirts, sweatshirts, leggings. That's what I feel confident in. And so my little slogan is, comfortable and confident. That's they're all super comfy, not 100% cotton. They're not going to shrink. They're fantastic. And obviously they deliver a message.
Deliver a message. You get to be part of a tribe. People will notice you.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's Mother's Day coming up. So if you don't feel like spoiling yourself, get one for someone else.
A friend, your mother,
a sister.
Yep.
Yep.
I love it. Ryanne, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you. It was so good to see you. Thanks, Cosette.
Yes. See you later. You guys,
See ya.
This is so much fun to have all these mamas sharing their details with us.